I bet it happened to you as well. You're focusing, hitting every apex, nailing every breaking point, just to be passed by level 24 in the Divesti 8, driving like they got a license with a pack of cereal. But how is it possible that this player can keep up with other players much faster than that? The following sections will help us explore how the level 24 player is able to keep up. From now on we will refer to a level 24 player as Jacob. Here, I give Jacob a nice little avatar so you can easily recognize him when we talk about him. The first thing helping little Jacob are balancing mechanics. These mechanics are catchup and Slipstream. I'm sure all of you have dealt with them and kinda know how they work, but in the following section I will explain them more in depth. Catchup in its basic form works by increasing the drag value of a car. This means that when you're in front, you will get slowed down a bit. Two things that are important to note about the drag value are that first of all it's mostly affecting top speed, so not acceleration that much. So this is why it's most noticeable on long straights. Secondly, different cars have different drag values. Most cars have a similar range, so they will be slowed down about the same amount. But there are some vehicles that stand out. The best example of this is the Tesseract, which has a drag value 4 to 5 times lower than most other supercars. This means that its top speed barely decreases when it's affected by catchup. So when in a catchup race, the Tesseract can be quite an OP pick. Back in the day that would have kind of been it for catchup explanation. But back in December 2023, Rockstar reworked the catchup system by adding multiple modes, which makes things a little bit more complex. The first mode is Classic, which is essentially the old catchup system. This one works by slowing down the top 3 in a race. This means catchup doesn't affect you at all when you're 4th or lower. For the top 3, the catchup effect is there, but also different depending on which spot you occupy. For 3rd place, your drag gets multiplied by 1.3. For 2nd place, it's 1.55. And for 1st place, it's 2. So in practice, this means 1st place gets its top speed reduced quite drastically, while 2nd and 3rd place get a chance to catch up. But at the same time, 4 to 30 will be coming at those two with top speed as well. For the first of the new catchup modes, Advanced Low, the number of people affected changes. It will affect 50% of the player instead of 3. So this means when there is 30, the first 15 will be affected. When there is 10, the first 5 will be affected, and so forth. The drag multiplier values in this mode, however, are considerably lower, with 1st place only getting a 1.5 multiplier and the difference between 1st and 2nd and 3rd being way less pronounced, dropping by only 0.05. This makes racing in the top 50% a lot closer, but still allows the bottom 50% to catch up. Advanced Medium is a stronger version of the Advanced Low mode. Advanced Medium affects 80% of the players. The number 1 driver here, however, will be slowed down even more than in Classic mode, with a drag multiplier of 2.25. However, it has a similarly low drop-off between the places, so would still promote a bit closer racing compared to the Classic, just in 80% of the players instead of 50%. Advanced High is even more extreme than the medium version, affecting everyone except last place, also imposing a 3 times drag multiplier on 1st place and having a steeper drop-off of 0.2 between places. This means these races will feel incredibly slow, especially for the top positions. The last mode, however, does the complete opposite, as it will make the race much faster. Instead of increasing the drag multiplier, boosted mode will decrease the drag multiplier for everyone except for 1st place. This means 2nd place will get a tiny reduction and will have a bit more top speed. However, last place, especially in 10 to 30 player races, will have a top speed considerably higher. This, however, presents a problem for Jacob. With the other catch-up modes, he could show at his own pace and just catch up to the front, that would be slowed down. However, in this mode, Jacob is suddenly going faster than he's used to, and Jacob does not know how to handle the speed, resulting in him messing up way more. Jacob does not like this mode. Jacob wants normal catchup. Jacob understands normal catchup. This Jacob likes. Slipstream is essential to all of Jacob's strategies. He will first use catchup to get closer on a straight, and then get sucked up by the magical lines behind the first place car, and then pass it with a speed difference of about 50 km/h. People keep telling Jacob that they don't like Slipstream because it messes with them in the corners or while braking. Jacob, however, does not see the problem, as he does not overtake in corners anyway, and braking he just does with the back of another car. Jacob loves Rockstar because he creates such amazing tracks. They're not very twisty, quite wide, and have very long straights. Jacob loves using these elements because without them he could never use the balancing mechanics to the full potential. Some prime examples of races Jacob loves are Route 68. This racing classic allows for your throttle to be pressed 100% of the time. Sonora Freeway, which only has a handful of corners in between 3 straights. Taxiing, which Jacob loves because there's basically nothing to hit, so he can just focus on abusing catchup and slipstream. Down the Drain, which is essentially just 2 straights glued together with 1 hairpin. And of course, all these stunt races with its long straights, tubes, and corners wider than the average American highway. Sometimes, however, matchmaking will put him into scary lobbies that use custom tracks. Tracks made by the community are scary for Jacob. They use things like chicanes, hairpins, and straights not stretching a quarter of the map. This is why Jacob generally tries to avoid these. Like we already established, Jacob's favorite car has been the Deves T8 for years, and in the last couple updates Rockstar kept adding HSW cars, which he loves. But why does he love these cars? Well, first of all, they have high top speed, which he can use to his fullest to reel back in all the racers getting slowed down by catchup. Secondly, he doesn't care about the more grippy cars because he won't use the max grip anyway. And even the least grippy GTA car is still way more grippy than its real life counterpart. So Jacob will always have enough grip and enough speed. Another reason he loves these cars as well is because Rockstar made them essentially invincible. Doing about 10 high-speed crashes, Jacob can still drive his car at max speed and max grip with no problem. He therefore loves to pull off the Ross Chastain move wherever he can. However, he does not only watch NASCAR, he also loves Australian race drivers like Valtteri Bottas. In the end, we can conclude Jacob is a very well-rounded driver who makes use fully of what GTA Online has to offer. He loves the balancing mechanics, which he thinks are very fair. He loves the open track design, which promotes racing. He also adores what Rockstar has done with their cars, so he can emulate real-life racing techniques. So in the end, Jacob is very happy. No, Will, go away. No one cares about you and your driving lines, apexes, and your driver skill.